Oh, hello. Look, I've just decided that I've going on a plein air painting trip. It might be useful if I just went through a few of the things that are necessary to take, and it helps you when you're deciding to pack up, how to condense things, and mainly make it a lot easier and lighter for you to handle when you're tripping away. This information will be able to be accessed on paintdownunder.com and on my website juliegoldspink.com.au. So you can download the information. This is the little list here, and what I thought I'd do is just go through all of these things, and that will help you make life easy for you. Okay, so I'll just put this back here, and I've decided to go through the materials with you first. So this may look like a lot of paint here, but sometimes I do take my larger palette, depending on if I'm taking the car and I'm able to put more things in there. This is the range, and these paints that are listed here, the Daniel Smith's paints, are in this palette around here. So I just thought I'd display them because they're the watercolours that I use. But look, if you're coming on a trip, any artist quality watercolours will do. I suggest it is nice to have the artist quality. Well, the alternative to this is this little setup here, and I'll just show you. This is a little Winsor Newton satchel with a handle, and it's absolutely marvellous if you've decided that you're going to just duck out somewhere in the morning to do a quick sketch or something like that, and this is all you need. And it also, though, has a smaller schminky little watercolour, not a travel one. It's bigger than that, so it's more convenient, but it's really, I think, convenient. I pop it in a plastic bag just in case after you've used it. And these are very common. You'll see a lot of watercolour artists use these, and I've had this for a very long time. So as you can see, it holds just as many colours as that is there, but it's much more condensed and easier for you to cart around. If you're in a hurry, and you can just take this whole thing, which has the brushes here, travel brushes, big mops, everything in here. So I've got scissors and pliers that I never go without, because sometimes these fellows can get, if you've got extra paint with you, get a bit tight, or other reasons. You might need pliers for your easel or something like that. Then on here, I've got the necessary things just for a small pack, a small amount of tissues, sharpener, with 2B pencil to draw with, and your eraser, a scalpel blade, always very handy that you need. If you use blocks, you can cut the top sheet off with this. Your 2B pencil to draw with, and your eraser. Now, for this little setup, I have these little water buckets. This little fellow here comes apart, and they all fit inside. So it's very, very convenient like that. And that folds down. So I take that if I need water. Okay, for this smaller pack. If you're larger, these collapsible ones are magnificent. And you can get a little one of these, but I always get the big one. And you just put it out like that. And this little handle fits oodles of water, and this little handle fits on your easel, which I'll show in a moment. So that's terrific, and collapses down very thin. Masking tape, always take a little bit of masking tape. You can take a smaller, thinner reel of this, like a 1/2 inch one. And like I say, you've got all your brushes, knife, everything. And this that folds up. Small tissues, these little fellows. Make sure, with watercolour, that you never have eucalyptus or aloe vera ones, just the cheap little packs, and you can pop one of them in. I always take a half a credit card, and that way I can't spend it on clothes, but it's very good for art. So just make sure that when you're scratching out, you use the little round corners, not the sharp ones. But they're terrific for different techniques and scratching back for grasses, so that's essential. Now a little spray. Now this is the bigger spray for when I'm using this back. The spray bottle, if you've got a smaller pack, something small like this, and I always use a mist spray. It's very, very fine, and it's preferable really for watercolours. So a small one, and you can get, I've got the pen one, which is about this long, and very convenient for international travel, and surprising how much water it does hold. So this nice spray bottle is for my bigger pack, and when I might take that palette with me. Okay, so that sort of covers the how I carry the paint and the two palettes that I've got. If you were doing the tiny, you can get little tiny travel packs for paint with just the the blocks in there, and it's only small. I think they have 9 to 12 little blocks. So if you were going to just go and do a sketch, your pen sketch with a nice felt pen, a little felt pen that doesn't bleed, to do a pen wash and a sketch and pop a bit of wash in, that would be terrific, and you could fit that in here as well. And of course, if you're within Australia or whatever, or you're driving yourself, then you can have a nice big mist spray like this size. So you can throw everything in the car, and what I do for that is use this larger satchel. But I remembered, I'm not sure, in here there's a special pocket, and you can pop a little small diary in here as well. So if you can get hold of this, I still take this as it is and I pop it in my large satchel, because it's usually always packed, so it's very convenient. So that means that I don't only have my larger palette like this that I can just take out and sit straight on my easel, which I'll go through in a minute. I can actually have that other palette, so I've got two lots of paint with me. So I just pick this up, take with you, especially if you didn't need to carry a lot of stuff, and you've got your seat as well, so it's great. Mind you, you'd have to work on your lap, but that's okay. Or dog clips, always very important to have these sort of dog clips that flip back, so they're terrific and very sturdy. So they have the little levers that hold very tight. Now I'll just go to this larger pack that fits over your shoulder. There's oodles of space in here, and it has a pocket in the front. I found it very convenient. And so a lot of the water, the spray bottle and what have you, whatever I can fit in there, I do. And at the bottom I have an umbrella that fits into a little pouch and clips onto a clip. Here there's a zippered pocket on the side here, of which I can fit my visual diary, which is very important for your sketches. Always take a little small diary like that. And if you were travelling on an international trip, take a travel diary as well with 300 gram or paper in it, that you can do small sketches and the memories of your travel. What I also carry too is this little pad, and it's 300 GSM, and it's handy for test paper when you're wanting to check any colours or things like that. And both of those can fit in here along with a block. So you can get these blocks which are all pre-stretched, and this is a sort of middle-sized one, 300 gram, and you can section it out to do 3 little sketches or do a quarter sheet. And I use rough usually, but whatever you like. And you can get a half size one of these, a small one. And this actually fits inside this pouch here. So I've got everything I need. So in this satchel, sometimes I prefer, if I'm doing a bigger painting out and I'm taking this palette, which is convenient, and I'm driving, not on a plane, I'll take the big box of tissues as well, and that fits in here. Oh, and also, sorry, I have a bottle of water about this size, and it fits in here as well. If I'm travelling by car and going to different places, I have a much bigger bucket and water supply with a tap on it, and I keep that in the car, and I just refill this fellow up, so that gives me heaps, enough there for about 3 paintings. The other things I wanted to explain: never go without your nice hat. You always need a hat, and this is a squashable hat that just comes together like this, squashes up, and you can, pop it anywhere and it just doesn't affect it. And it's reversible, so you've got 2 colours, so that's very important. My camera, now I know a lot of you will be using your phone camera, and I have one as well, but I do like my big camera, so I do try to take that. But that's a personal thing that I like to do. Now, like I said, I usually have blocks and sit them on the travel easel. So this fellow, I find, I'll just take that off while I show you. This little easel comes up very easily, and I'll just bring it a little bit closer here so that we can see. You can see a little bit better. And I have this set up with the umbrellas attached onto here, which will shade when you pop it up. Yeah. It's got a silver lining underneath so that it doesn't reflect colour onto your pad or your watercolour paper, and it's very convenient to shade if you aren't under a tree. So you don't necessarily have to have the umbrella. If you're under a tree, you just unclip it, unscrew, and it clips off. And also I will add that sometimes if people need to sit at the easel and you push the legs up and you're sitting in a chair, because not everybody can stand, this umbrella it just comes off, and often I've seen it attached to a handle of one of the fold-up chairs. Yes, this has been a very convenient easel. It also has the tilt here for watercolourists, so I can adjust the angle of it easily by this screw. Keep it flat or bring it up, direct like that. Telescopic legs, and they come up right to a very short length here, and this slides out and it all fits. Everything comes apart and it fits in this handy little carry satchel here. This one actually is lovely and light. Okay, now I thought I'd just mention this handy little table that has telescopic legs as well, light as a feather, and this concertina folds like a concertina right up to about that wide, and all the pieces come apart and the legs squash in like a fold-up chair. This is how it ends up. Okay, so we have a lovely, easy, and it's made by Austrail. Not that I'm getting paid by Austrail, but Austrail also is a very good sturdy product, and my outdoor chair is also Aussie Trail as well, and it's fantastic. Also with this table, that it has the telescopic legs, because that is so handy whenever you're going, because the ground is always uneven and bumpy. So anything that you can get with telescopic legs, very convenient for plein air painting, very important. All of this information you'll find on the list, things to take. Don't forget, you can download it and get more information. So I think basically that I've gone through most things that you will need. You can, make it very compact with a little tiny fold-up stool and just go out doing some sketches, some pens, sketches. And I found my lovely little felt pen there, these lovely Ziegler micron pens that don't bleed. Still use this satchel, take it with you, full of everything, and that's still very compact. So I hope this helps you, and so I hope to see you on my next trip. Thank you very much. Bye.